Hello ladies and gentlemen. Today I'm going to regale you all with the tale of how I became one of the top players in my server and zone, despite being a free-to-play player. And mind when I say free-to-play, I actually mean that I was a low spender. So please forgive me for lying to you a little bit there. But, you know, hear me out. Trust me, it's all going to make sense. I currently spend around £30 a month on the game, just to give you an idea of what I mean when I say a low spender. But with that being said, everything I'm about to talk about in this video can be used by someone that spends no money at all on the game, and it'll let you compete with the majority of people on your server, in your zone or division, and it'll let you advance quickly and become very, very strong at infinite Magicraid. God, I can't even say infinite Magicraid. Infinite Magicraid. So, when our story begins, I'd been playing IMR for around 2 or 3 months, and I was completely dogshit at the game. I was really, really terrible. My gear was bad, I had no gold, because I upgraded all the wrong stuff. My units were like slow, incredibly slow, they were like snails. If you name it, I was doing it badly. But eventually, after extensive mentoring from my guild at the time, which was Snakes by the way, under the leadership of Kanko, who no longer plays the game unfortunately, I began to learn how the game works and, well, get good. My problem, however, was that after 2 or 3 months of being bad at the game, I was already really far behind everyone else. And so another one of my great mentors, Captain Chaos, advised me to start a brand new account, but use the knowledge I'd gathered thus far and get a better start. And this is the main secret to success. I started a new account as soon as a new server launched on a Friday, and I re-rolled multiple times on this new server until I got some legends I was happy with. In this case, it was Serena and Focus. And this combo at the time was just insane for PvP. I would have Serena be faster than Focus, she would go first and nuke everyone, and then Focus would refresh with S4, and Serena would nuke again. You see it quite common, it's a cleave team, but I got it out the box, and so I was absolutely destroying everyone in PvP. From here I finished the campaign as quickly and efficient as possible. Serena and Focus were actually pretty good for that, by the way. You have to remember this was before the days of Mackin just destroying campaigns, so you have to get a little bit creative with your lineups. But I was actually the second to finish the campaign on my server, and so because I was so far ahead of almost everyone else, I was very powerful compared to everyone else that had started on this new server. Now, keep in mind when you first start the game, you're only competing with people on the same server as you. So when you get a head start, like I did, and you start to farm Tower of Mark, Faction Abyss, all your units start to get really strong before everyone else, this can be a huge advantage. And the key to all of this is to tap into this advantage and snowball by winning leaderboard events using your stronger units. So what that would involve directly is saving my gems and using them all when a classic arena event came around. I would manual all of my fights to maximize my gems, so by that I mean I wouldn't use non-stop combat, so I'd make sure I was winning every single fight. I would set a weak defense of level 1 units, and that would let me utilize the defense log to hit people back as well, which made grinding even easier. And if you don't know, revenge attacks made from the defense log, they count as real attacks. They use an arena token, and they also push you up the leaderboards and such. I'll probably make a video about this tactic in the future because there are lots of little intricacies to how you can farm classic arena events and advanced arena events manually in a more effective manner. But this allowed me to consistently take the #1 spot in every single classic arena event, even despite not being as strong as those around me or not spending as much of the game. So coming first in these events would give me over 25 mythic shards. That's like an insane amount to get consistently, because it only costs 100 to get a mythic, and obviously it only costs 50 to upgrade their exclusive. If you're getting 30-35 mythic shards each time one of these events rolls around, you're going to get a mythic so quickly, and you're going to upgrade those exclusives so quickly. And although I was saving my gems mostly for arena events because my PvP lineup was strong, and the classic arena tree is a really good way to upgrade yourself early on as well, I was also saving enough gems to push a little bit in the Dwarven Ruin events, because A, you're going to need gear. You need gear early into an account. Pushing Dwarven Ruin events is the best way to get gear. And B, it's easy. It's not easy to get top 10 in these events, but it's not too hard either. If you spend a little bit of gems on stamina and it's a brand new server, there's not that many people there at the front of the race. And if you've got a head start, like I've described, then you can usually get top 10 as well. So you're racking up these mythic shards incredibly quickly. Everyone else on the server, outside one or two other front runners alongside you, they're not going to be as fast as you. You're going to get Nordak first. And when you get Nordak, your team is just so much stronger than everyone else's. So that's the idea. That's the snowball effect. And that's exactly what I utilised. At the time, Ulcaster, believe it or not, was the big bad mythic. He was the first mythic to actually get a remake, because before he was so bad. He was even worse than he was now, and he's not bad now, but he's really not that good. He got remade and he was so strong. So I took Ulcaster as my first mythic, snowballed even more, just kept going, kept winning arena events. And again, as I said, I wasn't spending as much as everyone else, but that allowed me to stay on top of the server. You do have to realise, however, that the trade-off for this is I was saving all of my gems for these events. I wasn't spending them on trio match or ice skating. I wasn't buying wishes, so I was getting less summons, but I was getting more mythic shards, and I was getting more resources from, the arena tree, or if it was a Dwarven Ruins event, I was getting equipment. So there is a trade-off, but in my case, it was absolutely worth it. Now, to expand on this even further, this was on server 35, my server, which is over a year ago now. Nowadays, this strategy is even more powerful, because there's championship ranking rewards, there's the new breakthrough ranking awards because of the new dungeon, and there's so many more ways to get really powerful by being one of the strongest on your server or in your zone. Now, this is even as a free-to-play player. If you make a brand new account on the newest server, re-roll for a strong start, play the game as quickly and efficiently as possible, you can unlock those crazy ranking rewards and snowboard. Snowball. You can't snowboard in IMR, but you can snowball your early advantage, and that will result in a super powerful account. Really is as simple as that. So for those interested in giving this a go, let me give you one last tip. When you start a new account, you're giving it a bunch of beginner regressions. These are free regressions that you can use only within the first week of the account. What you should do is wait until the last day just before they expire, then use all of these regressions, regress all of your units, and build different units that can push levels in Tower of Mark or Faction Abyss that you previously weren't very far in. Then when you've used all of these regressions to push further in Faction Abyss and Tower, you can regress all the units and build your main party again. And by doing this, you get a massive advantage. You get to be way further in Tower of Mark and Faction, you'll be way ahead of everyone else that doesn't do this, and that just further cements your position, further pushes your snowball, and just makes you even stronger in comparison to the rest of your server. So thank you once again for listening to me, guys. I hope you found this interesting. Just as a reminder, you can join our Discord community if you have any questions regarding this or anything else about the game. Our guild actually has the most substantial and in-depth mentoring system in IMR. If you join us, we can help you with any part of the game, build your teams for PvE or PvP. We can even talk you through this entire process of re-rolling, tell you what units to build, etc, etc. Hope you guys all have a lovely day, good night, and God bless.